So, your presentation is about circular economy in water sector in view of Water Europe. So, please proceed your presentation, but now I cannot see your presentation anymore. So you should.
Yeah, I will open it again. Don't worry.
Okay.
There it is again.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So tell me just when to start.
Now you can start.
Okay. So, hello everybody. My name is Durk Krol. I'm the Executive Director of Water Europe, and I will briefly explain to you what Water Europe is, what it does, and what is the central role of the circular economy in our activities. I will move now to the next slide. Water Europe is the voice and promoter of water-related RTD and innovation in Europe. We are also recognized by the European Commission as a European technology platform for water, as we were initiated by the European Commission also in 2004. At the heart of our strategy is our mission that we have to improve coordination and collaboration in the water sector and water using sectors in the EU and beyond, enhance performance and competitiveness of the European water sector and water using sectors, and contribute to solving global water-related challenges through research, technology development, and innovation. As part of our strategy is that we cover the whole value chain and provide, of course, services to members. As already indicated, Water Europe is a multi-stakeholder, member-based organization representing the whole diversity and the whole value chain of water. We have organized our membership in 5 different corporate colleges and 3 associated colleges. So we have the multinational corporations with water at the heart of their business model. We have about 45% of our members are research institutes and universities. Then we have the utilities, the drinking water utilities and the wastewater utilities. We have the technology supply chain and of course the SMEs. We have the large mostly industrial water users like, for example, Coca-Cola, Dow Chemical, Solvay, these kind of entities. And then we have, as associate members, we have public authorities like municipalities, regional governments, and we have NGOs as a member. I think it's also very important to signal here that we're not only a membership-based organization, but also a value-based organization. And when I say that, it's that at the heart of our strategy and of our activities is our water vision, the value of water towards a future-proof European water-smart society, which really guides all our activities. Yeah. Next slide. Let me see. As I already mentioned, our water vision is really at the heart of our activities. So, in our water vision, we have identified what are the main challenges for the water sector towards the future, which we have identified as too much, too little, and too polluted water. And as a response to that, we have identified what we call a European water smart society, which is a society in which the true value of water is recognized and realized. All available water sources are managed in such a way that water scarcity and pollution of water resources are avoided. Water and resource loops are largely closed to foster a circular economy and optimal research efficiency, and the water system is resilient against the impacts of climate change events. So you see that circularity of water is really at the heart of our Water Europe vision and strategy. Voila. Now, in order to implement and drive our water vision forwards, we have identified 4 key innovation areas where we believe a lot of innovation needs to be done to achieve our water smart society. The first one is the concept of multiple waters, which covers both the increase of reuse and recycling of the available waters, but also the use of alternative water sources, such as you have brackish water, saline water, rainwater, of course. Then a second innovation area that we have identified is digital water. So we expect the water sector over the next years to be digitalized to a much higher extent, to the level that individual users know to the level that sensors will be rolled out throughout the network. Yeah, generating large amounts of data, so that water authorities and utilities can use that data to optimize the allocation of the available water sources. Then it's about the value in water. So the value in water is all about capturing and exploiting the value in wastewater, so as the nutrients and metals and energy, but also increasing, as we have seen with the COVID crisis, the data on human health, which is captured into wastewater, and then an underpinning hybrid gray-green infrastructure. Now, in order to make sure that we really make progress with our water vision, we have appointed water leadership teams on the main dimensions of our water vision. We've done it in kind of a matrix form where we have 6 horizontal water vision leadership teams, which are more research and research and knowledge driven, and 3 vertical ones, which are more, I would say, market and living lab driven. Yeah. So in principle, all these vision leadership teams are led by a think tank of 2 to 3 Water Europe ambassadors who really have the responsibility to bring forward the key topic of their responsibility. Then another element which is really important in the implementation of our water vision, and which is specifically relevant for our 3 vertical living labs, so the one on water smart cities, water smart industries, and water smart rural areas, is the concept of water-oriented living labs. Yeah? We really believe that is a key water-oriented living labs, which is basically a transposition of the concept of living labs to the water context. So, because as you will realize, I mean, water is a very transversal topic that is visible in very many different topics, but usually you will not find living labs specifically dedicated to water. So we have come up with a concept of water-oriented living labs to really drive forward this the implementation of living labs and our vision in the water sector. I just noticed that I think there is a problem with my presentation, as it is already half in English, half in Romanian, but I will continue. Then we have organized our activities into 3 main programs. The first one is the collaboration program, which is all about facilitating our members along the water value chain to collaborate in our different working groups and our events. A key event here, which we have, is Water Knowledge Europe, which will actually, one edition of that will actually take place next week. Water Knowledge Europe is our brokerage event for Horizon 2020, and in the future Horizon Europe collaborative research projects. And to be honest, there we are very successful, because we've done the analysis that until now in Horizon 2020, of all the projects that have a water dimension, 74% of the participants in these projects are a Water Europe member. Then we have our advocacy program, which is all about making water important at the European policy, in the European policy arena, so in the European Parliament, but also in the European Commission. But we go further than that, because in line with our ambition and our vision to achieve a European water smart society, we also are involved in advocacy to put the drivers for the uptake of innovative solutions in European water-related legislation, such as, for example, now the revision, the ongoing revision of the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. Also, there we have an annual key event, which is actually our flagship event, which is Water Innovation Europe. Water Innovation Europe is an annual event that always takes place in June, and it's really aimed at really putting water-related policy issues to the forefront. And there we have, for example, regularly European commissioners addressing our audience. Then the last program that we have is our market program, our innovation program, which is really about helping all our members to bring their innovative solutions and research results to the market. And also there we have an annual event, which is Water Market Europe, which always takes place in spring and really provides a lot of, I would say, B2B opportunities for Water Europe, for problem owners in Water Europe and solution providers to meet and to see how the innovative solutions and research results that have been created by our solution providers can be used by the problem owners in our community. Then I already briefly mentioned them as the heart, basically, of our collaboration program, which are our Water Europe working groups. Yeah, as you can see, we have a large diversity of working groups, which is really the basic level, the operational level for our members to collaborate in Water Europe and to work on finding solutions for the challenges that are out there, both in concrete terms, but also providing input to the European Commission for the policy shaping. Then Water Europe is also actively involved in European research project. We do this as a service to our members. There we participate on our members' request in their project consortia, which are very often shaped within, I would say, in a Water Europe environment. Right now we're involved in 14 different research projects. What we usually do is, of course, we don't want to enter into competition with our members. We do mostly communication and dissemination services. Now, in order to do this, of course, we require that the project is in line with our water vision and that at least one Water Europe member is present in the consortium. Then, regarding our policy engagement, which I already mentioned as an important part of our advocacy program. So, in line with our ambition to achieve a European water smart society, we are also involved in more regulatory advocacy, fully based in our water vision. That's why, as I already mentioned in the beginning, we're not only a membership-based organization, but also a value-based organization. And in order to serve those values that we have defined a number of systemic criteria to evaluate our positions. So our positions always have to be in line with our societal responsibility, which comes from our water vision. Our positions always have to be evidence-based, taking into account the latest state of technology and science, which is mostly based on white papers produced by our working groups and vision leadership teams. And finally, of course, our positions also have to be financially and economically sustainable towards the future, which is overseen by our Water Europe Board and Policy Advisory Committee. Of course, there are a lot of policy initiatives out there, so we need to prioritize. So here you can see a little bit how we prioritize our policy documents. So the key priorities for us right now are the Industrial Emissions Directive, the implementation of the Water Framework Directive, and the revision of the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive, linked to also the Sewage Sludge Directive. And as a secondary priority, we have everything around the Green Deal and the post-COVID-19 EU recovery plan. And the third group of priorities deal with everything which has to do with implementation of current European legislation. So the Drinking Water Directive, the Reuse Regulation, and the Common Implementation Structure of the Water Framework Directive. Now, key tools for our policy activities deal with, of course, our strategic publications, like we have our Water Vision, Strategic Innovation and Research Agenda, our Atlas on Water, Orange at Living Labs. White papers, of course, which come from our vision leadership teams and working groups. Then also, as Water Europe, we are the management body of the MEP Water Group in the European Parliament. We closely collaborate with other water-related European umbrella organizations in the European Water Alliance. And then we're also involved in in the Smart Water Alliance and in a number of funding partnerships like SPIRE, which is the public-private partnership for the process industry. As already mentioned, we're as Water Europe, we're the management body of the MEP Water Group in the European Parliament. So the management body, the MEP Water Group was initiated in 2009 by MEP Richard Seeber as an intergroup. Then, under the last legislative period, was shared by a Dutch MEP, Esther de Lange, and a few weeks ago, Ms. Pernille Wijs, a Danish MEP on behalf of the EPP group, has taken over the lead of the MEP Water Group. So what do we do with the MEP Water Group? We organize plenary sessions in the European Parliament to inform MEPs on water-related issues. We organize high-profile dinners with senior level participants to discuss water-related issues. For example, in the last period, we had these kind of dinners with the Commissioner for the Environment, Carmenu Vella, or the Commissioner for Research and Innovation, Carlos Moedas. And we can organize breakfast meetings on very specific issues. Also, the European Water Alliance, as I already mentioned, a coalition of European member-based organizations representing a wide range of water stakeholders across Europe. With them, we have established a manifesto for the water sector in Europe for the next 5 years, and we're now in the process of having meetings with 16 different European commissioners and their cabinets to highlight the importance of water in their portfolios. The good news is we did this also 5 years ago. Then we still had to do a lot of, I would say, missionary work, because a lot of commissioners who were not directly connected to water did not understand why water was relevant for their portfolio. The pleasant surprise has been that this time around, we find that usually the cabinets of the different commissioners are very well aware what the importance of water is for their portfolio. So that's a really pleasant surprise. Also, as Water Europe, we harbor the European Junior Water Program, which is a 2-year program for networking, transferring knowledge and necessary soft skills to work together and really make sure that, as I said, to achieve a water smart society, we're not only looking at making sure that we have the right technology, the right types of governments, but that we also have innovative human resources which can help us in achieving the water smart society. Then we also have our Water Europe International Water Dialogues, which are basically the international extension of our three main programs. So it's mainly an enabler for our members with regard to international business and research collaboration. And there we have different ways of working. We have a number of country-specific international water dialogues. We have a working group, Water Beyond Europe, which is led by UNESCO IHE and very much focuses, of course, on the implementation of SDG 6, but also other SDGs for which water has an important role. And we're involved in a number of international organization-led initiatives, such as the OECD, World Bank, United Nations. Then I'll give you here an overview of our key publications. Some of them I already have mentioned before. So we have our Water Vision, which is really the base of all the work we do, our Strategic Innovation and Research Agenda, which highlights the research and innovation which is required to achieve and realize a water vision. We have our European Atlas of Water-Oriented Living Labs. We have our joint publication together with UNESCO on the Sustainable Development Goals. We have an analysis and overview of our member success in EU projects, as I already said, which resulted in the figure that until now about 1.5 billion euros has been invested in water-related research under Horizon 2020. And of all the actors involved in water-related projects now, 74% are our members. And our latest publication is Water Europe Contributions to the Green Deal and Horizon Europe, where we have really transposed our water vision through the lens of the European Green Deal and Horizon Europe, to make clear to policy decision makers what are the opportunities to include water and address water in both the implementation of the Green Deal and the future work programs of Horizon Europe. And that's it. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll be glad to take any questions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very interesting aspect that presented by you. During the webinar, I received some messages of appreciation from the academic environment. So now we have 5 minutes left, around 5 minutes, about 5 minutes left. So I can start the question session. So let's see if there is any question here. Yes. Mr. Ciprian Nanu asked just to mention what Water Europe is partner with Aquateam in Next Gen. Yes, Next Gen, it's a circular economy project. Aquateam is a partner in it. You can tell something about this.
Well, indeed, Next Gen is one of the 14 projects we're involved in. I think it's a very interesting project. It's also in there we're involved not only in communication and dissemination tasks, but also to develop a database of knowledge which comes out of the project, which will help us to capture this knowledge and to use it actually beyond the life of the project. What is perhaps also very interesting to note here, that for example there was also a European project, a call for funding, which was really shaped on our water vision, which was in the previous call for Horizon 2020, which was called, and as you will see the similarity, call for a European water smart society and economy. Also there, 5 projects were funded, 5 very interesting projects also, I must say, in which 3 of them also we're involved, and in which the concept of water-oriented living labs also play a very, very important role.
Okay. There is no other question. Oh, Mr. Jos Fringe. Thanks, Durk. More on Next Gen to follow tomorrow. Sorry to pronounce the name if I don't.
Jos Fringe. No, you pronounce it quite well.
Okay, thank you very much, and
very
thank you
good.
for your presence and for your presentation again. And I invite you to watch the next session in this conference. Tomorrow it will be another 10 webinars, so you're invited, and thank you again.
Okay, just to have a clue, how many people are watching actually?
Now more than 40 people are watching us, but there are more than 116 registered attendees,
Okay.
like, let's say like that.
Okay.
Okay, I will send you a report just to see the audience.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you very much, and good luck
Good
with
luck
the rest
to you.
of your conference.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye bye.